As we told you earlier in the show, President Trump is not backing down from his claims, calling Baltimore a rat and rodent-infested mess. He's also criticizing Baltimore Congressman Elijah Cummings. Joining us now is Michael Knowles, host of the Michael Knowles Show on the Daily Wire. What did you think of the president's comments, and what do you make of accusations that it's racist?
Well, I mean, I know that we've boiled this word down or diluted this word racism to mean just about anything we disagree with these days, but in a very technical way, the comments are not racist. They do not bring up anybody's race. They don't discriminate against someone for their race. Bernie Sanders made almost exactly the same comments. Nobody called him a racist for it. The black Democratic mayor of Baltimore made far tougher comments on Baltimore using similar language to President Trump. Nobody called her racist. They only say that this is racist because the president said it, and this is the line that they use when they've run out of an argument. Now, the question, it seems to me the comments are true. Baltimore has some of the worst crime in the entire country. They have some of the highest murder rates in the entire country. It's a really tough place to live. The mayor herself said there are rats and trash everywhere, and that is a failure of the political leadership, including Elijah Cummings, who has been the representative there for a long time. He has been in office in Baltimore for 36 years. The problem has only gotten worse. The New York Times admitted this just this past March. They called it a tragedy, what has happened there. So the comments are true. The comments are not racist. The question is, are the comments politically helpful to the president, or are they politically harmful to the president? And it seems to me they're quite helpful. As you have right now, presidential candidates, Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris, and others, defending Al Sharpton. Al Sharpton, who is now going to have a press conference in Baltimore, a race-hustling extortionist. He launched his career on a rape hoax and on calling for violence against Jews in New York and a number of other egregious actions in his life. You now have the Democratic Party endorsing this man who, even in his own city of New York, is extraordinarily unpopular. It seems to me this is a bad idea for Democrats who want to win a presidential election next year. They are endorsing very unpopular people. They're associating themselves with unpopular people. They're coming out and haranguing the police, for instance, the third most popular institution in the country, third most trusted. They're even protesting the American flag. They're even celebrating people who denigrate the American flag. This seems to be President Trump's political superpower. He's able to get his opponents to defend the most unpopular institutions and to identify him even with, say, the American flag itself, or safety, or security, or prosperity.
I don't know what's going to happen in the debates tomorrow night. We have the Democrats. We have Bernie Sanders on stage tomorrow, and you had quoted him, as well as Mark Irons had quoted him earlier in the newscast, as the fact that, here's the quote right here from the Burlington Free Press, and he says, when you're visiting Baltimore, you would think we're in a third world country. So that's on the record there from Bernie Sanders. We'll see if he's asked about that tomorrow in the debates. But I do want to get to Archbishop William Lori, the Archbishop of Baltimore. You yourself are Catholic. William Lori, Archbishop, said, there's good people in Baltimore. They deserve the support of elected officials. Doesn't the president have the responsibility to promote civic discourse and to really shy away from personal attacks?
Of course. Well, President Trump is not making a personal attack against Elijah Cummings. He's making a professional attack. The man has had 36 years to clean up his own district, and it's only gotten worse under his leadership. So I think the attack against Representative Cummings is absolutely appropriate. And of course, the people of Baltimore, which is historically a wonderful city and has fallen into very difficult times, they deserve decent political leadership, and that has been deprived of them for the past several decades. But that's not President Trump's fault. President Trump didn't cause the problems in Baltimore, and if he's shining a light on it now, then I hope that the people who are actually responsible for that city will respond. But instead, I think they want to launch unfair attacks and malign the character of the president rather than actually clean up their own towns.
But your colleague Ben Shapiro actually says the president does not have a plan to help Baltimore. What do you make of that?
Well, I'm a Federalist, as is Ben and as are many other people. So, of course, I don't think the president has any antipathy toward the people of Baltimore. I think he wants to help the people of Baltimore. But what at the federal level is the president of the United States supposed to do for a city that suffers from local political corruption? I'm very skeptical of federal plans. As Ronald Reagan used to say, the 9 most dangerous words in the English language are, "I'm from the government and I'm here to help." This is incumbent on people at the local level and at the state level to do something about it. And I don't think we need an answer for every single political problem in the country from the leader of the free world.
You had suggested that that this might help the president. How is this going to help the president? I mean, this just seems to be nasty politics, people trading barbs on Twitter.
Unfortunately, though, negative politics works, and unfortunately, attack ads work as well. That's why all politicians use them. It would be wonderful if the president were able to make himself acceptable to a wide slew of Americans, and very kind and genial, and operating in ways of individual grace that we ourselves want to operate in. Our political moment isn't terribly graceful or charitable or merciful, and if he has attacks being lobbed against him from Elijah Cummings and from all of his other political opponents, unfair attacks, maligning him, he has to fight back. You know, you have two different tactical and strategic approaches. You have the kind, genial Republicans, Mitt Romney say, who want to stay away from cultural issues, and you have the culture warriors who are not going to win so much by making themselves acceptable, but by portraying their opponents as unacceptable. Governor Romney lost his election for president. President Trump won his election, and we'll see in 2020 if that strategy is going to bear fruit in moving forward.
Okay, Michael Knowles, thank you so much from the Daily Wire. Appreciate your time
Thanks
very
for
much.
having me.
Thank you very much.